A routine traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida, for 21-year-old William Anthony McNeil Jr. It was a moment that would spiral into a life-altering legal battle, sparking a nationwide debate about race, justice, and the very nature of policing. This is the story of a young man caught in the crosshairs of a system he believed was meant to protect him. It was a quiet evening when McNeil was pulled over. The initial reason? A seatbelt violation. But what happened next is where the story takes a sharp, controversial turn. Officers claimed they smelled marijuana, a common pretext for escalating a traffic stop into a full-blown vehicle search. McNeil, knowing his rights, refused to consent to a search of his car. This single act of assertion, this simple no, set off a chain of events that would be captured on Bodycam footage and scrutinized by millions. The officers, undeterred by his refusal, decided they had probable cause to search anyway. The Bodycam video shows a tense interaction. McNeil is visibly confused and frustrated. He questions the officers' justification, repeatedly asking why they are searching his car when he hasn't given permission. The officers proceed, their search turning up nothing. No drugs, no weapons, nothing illegal. By all accounts, the encounter should have ended there, perhaps with a simple seatbelt ticket. But it didn't. Instead of de-escalating, the situation intensified. The officers decided to arrest McNeil. The charge? Resisting an officer without violence. This is where the core of the controversy lies. How can someone be charged with resisting an investigation that was, by many legal interpretations, unlawful from the start? If the search itself lacked legal standing because they found nothing to substantiate their initial claim, how can the refusal to cooperate with that search be a crime? This question became the central pillar of McNeil's defense. His case wasn't just about a seatbelt or a supposed smell of marijuana anymore. It was about a fundamental principle, the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. Can police use a subjective claim, like a smell, to bypass a citizen's right to refuse a search, and then arrest them for resisting when that search proves fruitless? McNeil's arrest video went viral. People across the country saw a young black man, calm and articulate, trying to understand his rights, only to be placed in handcuffs. The footage ignited a firestorm of criticism against the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Civil rights activists, legal experts, and ordinary citizens all weighed in. Many saw this as a textbook example of contempt of cop, where an individual is arrested not for breaking the law, but for questioning an officer's authority. The narrative was powerful and deeply resonant in a country grappling with issues of police accountability and racial bias. Was this a case of proactive policing, or a case of racial profiling and an abuse of power? The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office defended their officers' actions, stating they followed procedure based on their training and experience. They maintained that the initial smell of marijuana provided sufficient probable cause to conduct the search, and McNeil's verbal refusal constituted resistance. This defense, however, was met with widespread skepticism. Legal scholars pointed out the dangerous precedent it could set. If an unprovable, subjective claim like a smell is enough to justify a search and a subsequent arrest for resistance, it effectively negates the Fourth Amendment. For many, it creates a catch-22. Consent to a search you believe is unjustified, or refuse, and risk being arrested for resisting. For many, particularly in minority communities who report disproportionately high rates of traffic stops, this isn't a theoretical legal debate. It's a lived reality. The pressure mounted. Community leaders in Jacksonville organized protests, demanding that the charges against McNeil be dropped. National news outlets picked up the story, amplifying his case to a massive audience. McNeil, once an unknown 21-year-old, became a symbol of a larger fight for justice. He was no longer just fighting his own case. He was representing countless others who had faced similar situations, but lacked the visibility or resources to fight back. Faced with intense public scrutiny and a legally questionable case, the state attorney's office for the 4th Judicial Circuit had a decision to make. Prosecuting McNeil would mean defending the officer's actions in court, a move that would be politically and legally perilous. The bodycam footage was the prosecution's biggest hurdle. It showed no violence, no physical resistance, only a young man verbally asserting his constitutional rights. In a significant development, the state attorney's office announced they were dropping all charges against William Anthony McNeil Jr. The official document stated that the facts and circumstances reveal that the state cannot prove the charge of resisting officer without violence beyond a reasonable doubt. It was a quiet, legalistic end to a very loud and public ordeal. For McNeil and his supporters, it was a monumental victory. It was a validation of his stance and a testament to the power of public awareness and legal advocacy. His lawyer stated that the decision affirmed that citizens have the right to question police and to refuse unlawful searches without fear of being arrested. It was a win not just for McNeil, but for the principle he stood for. But the story doesn't end there. While McNeil was cleared, the questions his case raised still lingered. The officers involved faced no disciplinary action. The policies that allowed the situation to escalate remain in place. The incident served as a stark reminder of the immense power and discretion wielded by law enforcement during something as common as a traffic stop. It highlighted the vulnerability of citizens, especially young people of color, and the critical importance of knowing your rights. But it also showed that knowing your rights doesn't always protect you. McNeil did everything he was supposed to do. He remained calm, he didn't physically resist, and he clearly stated his refusal to consent. Yet, he was still arrested. His case has become a teaching tool for Know Your Rights seminars and a case study in law schools. It demonstrates the gray areas in policing and the law, where procedure can clash with constitutional protections. The so-called smell test for probable cause remains a contentious issue in courts across the country. While some jurisdictions are moving away from it, especially as marijuana laws change, it is still widely used. The story of William Anthony McNeil Jr. is a complex tapestry of law, race, and power. It's a story with a positive outcome for the individual, but it leaves behind a troubling picture of the broader system. It forces us to ask difficult questions. What constitutes legitimate policing? Where is the line between officer safety and citizen rights? And how do we ensure that every single person, regardless of who they are or where they are, is afforded the full protection of the law? McNeil's ordeal ended not with a bang, but with a quiet dismissal. He was free to go, his record clean, but the echoes of his arrest continue to reverberate, a powerful reminder that the fight for justice is often won not in a single, dramatic courtroom battle, but through persistent questioning, public scrutiny, and the courageous stand of one individual who simply said, no. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the stories that matter. Stay informed and stay engaged.